Going to ask you as a father, I mean, of course, the headlines and all the news lately, you taught these boys to play a certain way of old school hockey. Is it hard for you to see your kids in the limelight and all of a sudden, they become, I wouldn't say a negative focus with everything that went down, but just maybe hearing varying opinions on it?
No, it's a great question. It's difficult. At the end of the day, I'm still their dad, and it's difficult on us to hear, stuff when they play hard and they play maybe on that line, and what people should know about them is sad because they're skilled, and that gets overlooked because of some of the competitive stuff they do, whether it's right or wrong in some people's eyes. But at least I know they're coming to play and they're going to impact the game somehow. Now, stuff happens, but it's difficult to read some of the stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. It's more difficult on my wife because she's still a mom, and that's their little boys.
And if she read it, or even when you read it, you're playing, I don't give a shit. And that's my husband, I don't care. But to see it with your kids, no matter what, you don't care if you consider him wrong. You're like, that's my son you're talking about.
Yeah, and I do enough of parenting when I'm home with them that, I tell them they're, nitwits or idiots. Or my dad, I thought my name was Nitwit growing up because that's how my dad called me. So,
well, Brady, I got one for you. There was an incident this year against the Philadelphia Flyers where I assume you thought one of the Flyers guys took a liberty or said something to your bench after a goal, and towards the end of the game, I think it was out of reach, and you just went after him, and it's kind of you're trying to set that tone and create that culture in Ottawa, and maybe run by the situation and how it all went down.
Yeah, well, I think he scored. He scored a goal, I think, with 4 minutes left, and as he was kind of going through the train, he chirped our bench. So I thought that's kind of just disrespectful to us, and I think with our team, we just stick together. And it was 20-something seconds left, and maybe could have waited a little bit, but I saw you was changing, so I'm like, it's my time. So
that's why they love him there, though. That's why they love him in Ottawa.
But I asked him to go, and I guess I'm stirring the pot now. But but I guess he didn't want to. But gave him a cross check, he went down, and
Brady's like, you want to go in?
He's like, he didn't say no. He's like, well, that was 0.3 seconds after you asked him. But right now, obviously, like, it's a rebuilding time in Ottawa, and I think those are the things that fans see that know that's what'll get the Senators to the next level. Is like caring for one another, and you may be beating us, but you're not going to show us up. So I think that's why you are a fan favorite, let alone your skill. But when you watch your brother play, and they're a team that's competing for the Stanley Cup this year, right? You think Calgary, we can get it done. It must be tough. You're like, all right, I want this team to improve so bad that on some nights it can be tough to deal with, like the losing.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes to lose. Yeah. So, there's a lot of games that we're right there, and then we've gotten so much better even this year, and it's
surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, so I think especially with our group, we have a lot of fun. We got a great crew, and we come to the rink every day and just have fun. And it's been fun, but yeah, it's the winning's going to come, but. No, I feel like we've definitely gotten better.
And they've got good young players. Like they pounded us the other night. Like they've got good guys that they work hard. They're not fun. They're not fun to play against because you go in there and they're going to work hard. They're really well coached. And I love
what the hell are you?
I love.
He's a future podcast host, I think.
This is such an act.
I fucking think he knows what he's talking about.
He's never this nice to his brother.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about his team. They're gonna be better. Like they work hard. They're not fun to play against now. So if they get some guys in the next few years, they could be good.
I know they pounded you because I had the Flames that night. Thanks for nothing. The Shabbat kid is filthy. He's like going to be just one of those next level D. But I got to ask you, right? We did talk about the news and a crazy night. I talked a lot about how it was so exciting for the game, like the emotion in that game and the Battle of Alberta being back. Your quote, I think, made a lot of sense to a ton of people, especially Flames fans. Like, I ran him over. He wants to do that. We'll take the power play. We'll take the win. So when you're talking about that, like, to you it seemed pretty easy. Why would I fight him?
I think that
is that fair?
No, I wish that. I guess the one thing I'll say just about everything is I wish that I didn't say anything in the media. I wish I just. I take back, maybe not take back, but I just wish I just play on the ice. Do all the talk, and I wish I.
Even though that makes you who you are,
it's an emotional game.
But it's
we all loved it.
It's a big and
hey, it's all about the escrow, boys.
It's a show. Bennington was here. He goes, "This is a show, our league."
But the only thing I want people to know is we're in such a huge race right now, like in our division. I've never absolutely insane how there's 5 teams within 1 point, all within the same amount of games. Like, every night's so important. And the one thing I want to tell people is everybody looks. I don't read Twitter, and my mom and dad do, and that's why they get bothered by everything.
Oh,
but
He's shaking over there.
Yeah,
you don't have to explain yourself to anybody.
No, I know I don't. But I think the one thing that I want to tell people is we are in such a big race. Like, we have one game against the Blues, the defending Cup champs. And today, Junior, but we against
I can't wait to go to high school, Billy.
against the defending Cup champs, and nobody's talking about that. Only people talk about the rivalry games. But what I want to tell people is, we go into each game playing the same way and do whatever it takes to win. So that's what I tell people is you got to do anything in your power to win. And we're here for a reason. We're skilled players, and we produce offense for a team, and we try to lead by that. But also there's nights where maybe you don't feel as great, and maybe you're having not as much puck luck, and you have to play physical as well. And I mean, I know there's a handful of games every season where I go in and I'm just like
No, well, that's one of the quotes that I was.
Only these guys would be chirping. The whole hockey world's listening on hand and foot.
He's just like, the quote that stood out to me was the fact that you're so self-aware and the fact and such a good team guy. Whereas you said some nights you just don't have it offensively. Where I need to find another way to impact this game, and you do what you do. You end up drawing that penalty. And I said even on the podcast, I would want both those guys on my team any day of the week, because that's how you have to fucking play in order to win championships. And it's been happening the last few years. You see a team like St. Louis, and you witnessed firsthand, Walt.
We bullied every team.
They fucking bullied everybody. The game has not fucking changed.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to that. I think one thing, Matt, people don't understand too, which I don't really care. Matthew does things what people don't see is to take pressure off some of the other guys. So if Matthew is going out doing his thing, you know what? The other team is more concerned about him instead of Johnny and Monty and Lindholm, Backlund. And that's the reason why he does it. He does it because he gets himself in the game, and they both do it. Brady's still young. He's still learning the game. And to get back about after you score goals, I hate when guys go on the train. I hate it. I never did it.
When did that start?
Did it. And when guys would come down the train, I would take my hand back. I think it's terrible.
When you were in the league, though, that was going on?
Yeah, it started.
So it's been a long time.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah. I didn't like it. The coach would get mad at me, but I just don't like when guys skate by the bench. It's just like pretend like you know what you're doing. Do it again. Like pretend
act like you've been there before, type of thing.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to actually correct me. I thought maybe one of these guys. You're not going to sing for us, are you, Sammy?
Going into the psychological aspect of that, being still a young player in the league, does that add pressure to you, or do you actually love that, taking that attention away from your teammates?
I'm not attention. Like, I don't care, honestly. But I think what me and Brady both make sure we do is at the end of each day or at the end of each season, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, did you compete and were you a good teammate? And that's what my dad told us since we were early. That's the only two things he said to us growing up. Like, he didn't say, shoot the puck or like nothing like that. It was compete and be a good teammate and you'll be all right. And as long as we can look at ourselves and be the best teammates possible, we did our job.
You like De Niro and Goodfellas, huh?
Yeah, freaking nice, by The Godfather.
I'd like to ask Brady about a
Sleeps
teammate.
20 feet away.
I want to ask you about Anthony Duclair, who's been having a stellar season, and a guy maybe who got wrote off by a lot of teams, and I mean the quote from Tortorella that came out recently. But just talk about him in the year he's having.
Well, he's having an unbelievable year, and he deserves all the accolades he's getting, and being here he's had.
Thank you.
He's had such a great start to the year, and he's so fun to play with. He's so skilled, and if there's ever a scrum, he's right in there too. So it's and he's a great guy off the ice as well, and
he can wheel. He can wheel.
Yeah, he's Jets.
What, off the ice or on the ice, Walt?
Well, I don't know, but off the ice, that's a good one. Got there. Hey.
Biz Teo's wheel and ain't about the speed on the skates.
Yeah.
I saw a great picture of All-Star Game. Big Walt's playing, and you guys are sitting on the boards in the jersey. One, where was that? And two, I could tell you had the hip flexor stretch going after probably 30 beers the night before.
He's going the fastest skater.
Where was that game?
Minnesota.
That's cool. Was that the one time that they were all, or did you make a couple different games they were at?
Well, that was the first one that they were actually old enough to do it, and just to bring them on the ice was awesome. And then we did it again in I don't know what year, maybe 09.
Yeah,
Montreal.
09. So we were old in 09. So
I had no idea where they they were half the time. They were taking pictures with guys. They were down in the locker room on the bench, and I didn't know where they were for
The
3
hot
hours.
dogs.
He's like, Dad,
Yeah,
how'd you
yeah.
get in this game this year? This is unbelievable.
They didn't give a shit about Dad. They wanted to go sit next to Pat Kane and Ovechkin and take pictures. We got tons of pictures of all that. That was
cool.
one thing my wife said. Make sure you boys take pictures.
Brady, I probably see more Senators games than anyone in Boston. As your dad knows, I like a game of chance or two. But you guys, I like this because you play your balls off every night. How much has DJ Smith meant to the team?
No, he's been awesome for us. He's kind of changed almost the culture. He's just our goal and our mindset is just outwork the other team and give ourselves a chance and stick together with there's been some incidences where they've kind of things haven't gone our way and we've stuck together and we always persevere and I think our mindset's we're never out of a game and we're gonna just keep hitting, keep trying to get goals.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah,
Sorry, but
yeah.
I'm telling you, they are fun.
It's so much fun.
I
to play.
wish I played with DJ Smith. He seems like a really good guy. He's good at what he does. The guys love playing for him. They go through a wall for him, and they're a bunch of guys who are playing for jobs, and they come to play every game. Sometimes they just get out talented, but you know what? They were 2 games under 500 before that little bit of slide for the last 3 weeks. So they've done a good job, and they got some good quality players, good quality people there.
Yeah, fun team to watch for sure.